This is how not to be efficient while running faction missions in Brimstone Sands. Also known as taking the scenic route. The reason I'm gathering all of the herbs is they're selling for like $1 a piece for buy orders. If you put them up for sale, you can sell them for more like $1.50 on the server I'm on. But you do have to wait until people buy them. Nobody is farming low level mats right now. So if you farm greenwood, aged wood, iron ore, rawhide, the basic low level mats, you can make a ton of money right now if you're trying to make money, if that's part of your end game. I missed. Oh well, it happens. Got you that time though. So I'm going to kill the ghost so I can dig the sandstone. The sandstone is bringing about $5 or $6 a piece, or gold a piece, not necessarily dollars on Marama. So I want the sandstone. And see that my game is not keeping up with how much stuff I'm gathering because I'm gathering it faster than the game can load it in because it says I've gotten what did it say? 186 items. The handful of stuff that's on the screen plus 186 items or something silly. 194 items now. Cactus is $1 a piece or so. I'm getting somewhere between 1 and 4 cactus. I can't tell for sure how many I'm getting because the game isn't able to keep up with it. I could open my inventory and look at it, and then I would have a more firm idea how many I'm gathering. Uh, but anybody who says you can't make money in New World right now is not playing the game. At least not on a legacy server like Marama, because it's very easy to make coin right now. I've made a bunch in the last few weeks. I don't see a ton of new players. I have seen a few people, Xbox players, and a few PlayStation players, but not very many. It's a little bit discouraging in a way because I really like the game. It's a lot of fun for me. I've been playing since the alphas or beta, or I don't know exactly what it was, but anyway, a buddy of mine got into it, the very first one that they did, and he was like, "Man, I had a ton of fun in this game. You should try it out." And well, a big group of us decided to try it out. We were playing another game at the time that the developers stopped developing, and it just kind of died out. And so we came to New World. I've been here ever since. Most of them have moved on to bigger and better things, or went back and revisited Ark, or so the zombie games, or DayZ, and I don't remember what all they're playing. I'm not a huge zombie fan. I'm not a big shooter fan. I like the MMOs. I like the player-driven economy. I like doing things that I want to do, and um, having the freedom to decide what I'm going to do. There are some quests in New World, so it's not exactly like a sandbox like Ultima Online. Uh, it does give you the freedom to choose what you're going to do, especially after you level up. And the leveling process in this game is a lot of fun. I don't know. I think I've leveled up about 9 or 10 characters. I only have one Steam account, so I've leveled them up in different regions. I have enjoyed the leveling process. This last fresh start round that just started about a month ago, as of the time of this recording, I did that. I didn't really enjoy it, and I've talked with some friends, and we decided that, and a couple of them said the same thing I did. And one reason we haven't enjoyed it is because so many of us have been playing, for a few years at this point, and we've already done the leveling process. Even though the main story is revamped and much better, it's still the same basic principle as what we've already done 8 or 9 times. So that's why I'm not on a fresh start server right now. I'm on a legacy server with a tune that has, I don't know, let's see how long this character has been playing. Slash played, I think it is. 174 days, 4 hours, and 57 minutes on this one character. I feel like that's a fair amount of time to put into a game. So that's not in game days. A day in game is only, I think the day cycle is 1 hour and the night cycle is 45 minutes. But that's actually a 24-hour day when it says I've played 124 days. It's kind of wild if you think about it from that perspective. I've wasted that much time in a video game, but I've had that much time to put in a video game since I think I started playing this character in 2021. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you're looking for an efficient way to quickly run faction missions and get faction tokens, this is not it. This is actually a very inefficient way. If you just got the missions and you ran straight to the points and did the what you should do at the point, like pick up the asset, or stand there and defend the area for 1 minute and 30 seconds, or whatever it is. I think the first one I would do with this as a Marauder character is to go pick up the asset, and then I would go to where you do the 1 minute and 30 seconds, because it's also where you drop the asset off at in Brimstone Sands. But I am not being efficient. I'm also looking for concealed faults. I'm gathering mats. My primary goal is to gather and farm stuff to make money. There's always the possibility that someone could attack me, since I am flagged and I am out running around in the world. To me, that's an interesting part of the game, an interesting mechanic in the game. And people could say, it's dumb to do this with your faction missions, and they're probably not wrong, but I'm just kind of goofing off, and if I die, I die. I'll restart the missions, or whatever I got to do. And sometimes the other people die, the people who attack me. Not always. Maybe not even the majority of the time, but, you know, often enough that I'm not willing to not play the way I want to. I'm slacking off a little bit. I've only gathered about a half a bag of goodies here around the right around town. I've still basically right around town, just to the right of me there. You can see the foundation for the town of Brimstone Sands. I'm dropping down, picking up a few more mats on my way. That's 317 aptitude in mining. In case you're wondering what that 317 was, it just popped up on the screen because I do gather a lot of materials and try to sell a lot of materials. Uh, I have never reached gold cap in this game. I've always found something to spend the money on. Or I was always working toward a goal where I needed some money in game. Um, there are several people who stay at gold cap. I have several friends I play with now who continually sit at gold cap. I have one, if he finds out he's for sure going to get money, he goes and buys something so he has room to receive the money he's going to get from whatever activity is that he's doing. I have other friends who have alt characters, and they'll trade the money down to their little alt character so that it can hold the money, because each character can hold around 1,000,000 gold, I think it is. I'm still quite a ways from that. I have hopes of being there in the next 2 weeks. I'm not positive I will make it, but I am working toward it, and I do intend to get there eventually. I never cared about being at gold cap before. It just became a side game of mine recently that I was like, I think I'll try to get as much money as I can in the game, which is gold cap. I always said before, as long as I had the money to do whatever activity it was that I wanted to do, I didn't really care if I was at gold cap or not. And I meant that at the time because that wasn't the goal. But, it's changed for me. I decided I want to be at gold cap, at least for a little while. I mean, I'll probably, after I get there, decide, this ain't as much fun as I thought it might be, because then I'll have to do like my friend and try to get to where I can accept money when I'm doing activities to get it, or lose the money, which seems ridiculous to, not be able to accept money that the game gives you. People would argue it's a waste of time to dig the little scarabs because they only drop a couple of lodestone, and they're probably not wrong. Like I said, I'm just clowning around and doing things the way I want to do them. Not necessarily the most efficient way. Um, Definitely not the most efficient farm. If you wanted to farm lodestone, there's great farming routes up in Great Cleave and Cutlass Keys and places like that, where there's much more lodestone than you get from digging the little scarabs. You see the little blue stump down there at the bottom? There's usually a weirdwood tree there. This particular time, there's not one. Somebody must have come and chopped my tree down. And I say my tree because if it were there, I would chop that thing. And then a lot of people won't fight these alligators. I don't mind fighting alligators. They do knock you around a little bit. And, they can be a little aggravating to fight and to kill. But I found that with either a bow and a spear, or a bow and a rapier, or a great axe and a hatchet, they're not that big a deal. You do the two different weapons, like the bow and rapier, bow and spear, substantially different than I did with the great axe and the hatchet. And I could have done a similar thing, where you take the hatchet and throw it and pull the alligator back to you and do one at a time, so you're not fighting two at a time. But if I just wanted to wade in and stand there and swing the axe at the alligator, chop it up. Like, I already broke its sandbar with that axe. Now this one's being skinned, and then right here's some more of these herbs that are a dollar a piece on the auction hall, or sell for a dollar a piece on the auction hall. Over a dollar a piece if you uh, want to wait, a few hours to get your money. Gather this green wood right here because people aren't bothering to chop green wood because people are all trying to do the in-game content. Everybody wants to do the new raid, which is exciting and is different and is probably some of the highest quality content in the game right now, arguably. But it's not the only content. People get hung up on, doing the hip new thing. And I was talking to somebody last night, and I think it's kind of a common thing what he was saying. He's done the new raids so many times that he's kind of getting burned out on it. He's Hive of the Gorgons out. So don't do that to yourself. Find something that you want to do, that you can enjoy doing. Uh, and I guess if you don't enjoy playing with people, it makes it more difficult to do what I'm saying. I've tried to find a good group of people to play with in the game. Right now, none of them are on. This is Friday morning. A ton of my friends are at work. I had the day off, so I'm just doing this silly video because no one else is here at the house this morning. I just thought, I think I'll make a YouTube video about New World and see what's going on. See what people think about it. I may get all kinds of hate mail and hate comments and all that kind of stuff. And if I do, so be it. I can always delete it. It's not like I'm trying to do this to earn a living. I'm doing it because I enjoy the game and I just wanted to see what it was like. I've watched a ton of content creators for New World. I think a lot of them do a really good job. A lot of them seem to push an agenda, which is fine. It's their channel, their right. They can do that. They can, definitely talk about what they want to on their channel. And a lot of them just want to hang out, which is kind of what I was hoping to do. Just make some videos and hang out and talk about what I like about the game or what I want to do in the game or, what's going on in the game for me, and the people I play with. If this is not your kind of content, if I'm a little too shaky, janky, jittery, whatever, I'm sorry. It's just I'm new to this, so bear with me. If you can't stand it, then have a good day. I hope things are good for you. Do get pushed around a bit by the gators, like I was saying, but once again, it's not the end of the world to me because I'm going to kill a sucker and skin it. Oh, and I just got $10.35 for killing that thing. Whenever you're trying to get to gold cap, every $10 is $10 more. 253 harvesting aptitude. Yay me. That's from gathering the herbs and I guess the silk and the wire fiber and the regular fiber and all the little gatherables in the game. Azoth water, I'm pretty sure you gather it also. That stuff is selling for like $9 or $10 at this time on Marama to buy orders. I think if you put it up for sell orders, I think they're like $11.50 or something like that. I don't know if people are actually paying that. I haven't put any up at that price. I've just been coming in and looking at the buy orders and I'm going, oh, I've got 60 of them. If I sell them at $10 a piece, that's 600 gold, and that seems like a reasonable return for the amount of effort I put into gathering these. So I've just been doing that. If that's not a reasonable price for the amount of effort you put into it, then by all means, do not do that. Figure out what's a reasonable price for the amount of effort you're putting into it. And New World's not for everybody. Like I said, I've got friends that have moved on to a lot of other games who are great people, great gamers, but they're just not into New World anymore. They're not excited about it. They don't enjoy it. They feel that there is it's too repetitive. Um, and I guess there is some repetition to it. I guess I'm odd. I enjoy the repetition. Like, even though, and even though it's repetitive, I don't necessarily do the same things over and over. Like, well, I am kind of being repetitive with the gathering of the match. You know, it's just sort of the same move and stuff, and I'm repeatedly killing alligators, but I'm not repeatedly killing the same alligator or crocodile. I'm not repeatedly gathering the same mat. I'm going traveling around the map and gathering at other places and doing other things. Uh, and if you're not into that, then you probably would not enjoy this type of game. But I'm kind of into that. Um, and there's no shortage of stuff to do. You can do. There's the new raid which is called the Hive of the Gorgons. There's the old Sandworm raid, which they have made much harder. The raid group I'm in, last season I think I cleared it 83 times on one character, and then another, oh, I don't remember, 33 or 32 times on another character. And this season, we have cleared it one time. Uh, they've made the sandworm much harder. So if you did sandworm last season and you think it's a joke, go try to do it again. Get 19 people together and go try the sandworm and see what it's like now. Because, like I said, the group I'm in, who I consider a really good, strong group of players, we've cleared it exactly one time. Now, there are other groups who've cleared it 5, 6, 7 times, and that's fine. They've got things a little more lined out than we have, maybe. They're a little more firm on roles than we are, maybe. I don't know. I don't organize it. I don't have to organize it. The raid leader organizes it. I just show up and do what he says. If he wants me to bleed rapier or evade rapier or be a rend bot or whatever he asks me to do, I try to do it. He asked me to change my build up a little bit, I try to do it. I've got a build going on right now where I utilize the Gray Wizard's hat for the extra 50 intelligence to get the extra crit damage. That's what he's got me running as a Rend bot. And that's fine. It makes him happy. I get to participate in the raid. So why not? As you can see, I've gathered the stuff on the screen, and I think it's 759 other items since I left town on this little excursion. So this has not been an efficient farm at all for if you're just looking for faction tokens and not wasting time. You can do the faction mission as a marauder. I can do it if I'm in a hurry in like 14 minutes in Brimstone Sands. But I don't get all these other goodies, all of the herbs, all of the silk, all of the hide, all of the stone, all of the Azoth water, all of the different types of meats that I've gathered from all the animals I've killed. Ironhide, which is what these level 60 gators drop up here, is very non-valuable. I think it's selling for somewhere around 2 cents or 3 cents per hide, so it is not useful. But you need it to make the infused leather, and the infused leather is very valuable, but you also need the base mats, the rawhide, and the thick hide to make the layered leather and infused leather and all of the different levels of leather. But I'm probably just going to wind up putting all of this on the auction hall for selling it to buy orders at 2 or 3 cents a piece, just because I already have a storage shed full of it, so I don't need any more. And I'm not willing to just throw it on the ground if I can get 2 or 3 cents for it, so I'll sell it to somebody for buy orders, and I have no idea what they're doing with it. Before this most recent patch that AGS put out, you could turn it into Scarhide or Smolderhide, but they've taken Smolderhide out of the game. Now you to make the I think it's runic leather, the not top tier leather, but the second to the top tier leather. You only need the Smolderhide. I don't like getting in the water with the gators because once they push you around in the water, it's very hard to stay on your feet. So I'll get out and or pull them out, or at least into the shallow water, because I don't want to get locked in there. And that's another also good reason, or a good time for somebody to come by and be like, oh, this idiot's out here flagged, running around down here, and he's fighting these gators in the water. So let's go ahead and put him out of his misery. So, and I am PvP flagged and running missions, and I've done the first leg of the first mission. I picked up the item over in Cleopatra's Promise a few moments ago. It's back up the top of that waterfall, but I haven't run back up anywhere to do anything with it. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And I say that to try to make a pun because it's literally at a bridge where we drop the asset off at, and also where we stand for a minute and 30 seconds and do our claim or defend the territory or defend the area. So, I think it said I had 926 ironhide now. Oh, it's caught up a little bit. So the game has caught up a little bit with what I'm gathering. It says that I have gathered the things that are on the screen plus 30 other items. So it's kind of caught up in some way. It does that weird and randomly. When they redid this game for the New World Eternum launch, they didn't quite get everything perfect. Is it horrible? No. Is it not fun? No, I think it's a ton of fun. Is it weird sometimes? Yeah, I would say so. I would not call it a polished game. I would not call it a perfect game, but I would call it a fun game. And there are people who would tell you that it's not fun and not perfect. A lot of those people have even more time in the game than I do, and they have played it since launch, and they've got multiple characters and multiple accounts, and they've got 10,000 hours in the game, and they say it's not fun. How can they have 10,000 hours in a game that they don't enjoy? Why would you play a game for 10,000 hours if you're not enjoying it? I think the last time I looked at Steam and paid attention, it said I had around 7,000 hours in New World. I wouldn't spend 7,000 hours doing anything I didn't enjoy unless I was getting paid really, really well for it. And I've never gotten a dime for playing New World. It's where I go to spend my extra time and goof off and wind down and decompress from the cares and the trials and the tribulations of the real world. Apparently, I have a quest to kill goats, but it apparently only ticks for certain goats. As you saw, I already killed a couple of goats, and they didn't have a little marker over their head, but for some reason, that one goat counted for the quest. I believe that wolf's going to come attack me, or jackal, whatever you want to call it. It's basically a wolf. It's a reskinned wolf. And there are a lot of reskinned mobs in New World that do the exact same damage and the exact same attacks. And that's been a complaint since 2021. Uh, there's a lot of things that look the same. They may be different colored, or they may have, some very minor difference in it. But a lot of the enemies, a lot of the monsters or mobs or whatever you want to call them, do look similarly. I'm okay with that because as I look around the world in real life, a lot of things kind of use the same model in real life. If it worked in the real world, why can't it work in a video game? And it's like that with a lot of other video games. I've noticed a lot of people who are complaining about that play a lot of games where the mobs look really similar in others, and they don't complain about that. It's just that for some reason it triggered them. Oh, there's a lot of zombie-looking pirates in New World, and there are. Oh, there's a lot of skeletons in New World, and there are. Oh, there's a lot of these corrupted-looking things with the glowing red eyes, and there are. Uh, but they've added a couple of other types of mobs and character models and stuff over the course of the last few years. And it's an aesthetic skin on a mob. So to me, that's less important maybe than it is to some people. Doesn't mean it's not important to them. It just means that to me, it's not important that the mobs or monsters look different uh, that I'm fighting. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I just killed an armadillo. What other game can you kill and skin an armadillo in? I don't know of a game where you can kill and skin an armadillo in it. I just killed and skinned another one here. This is new. They since October. This is a automatic tent spawn place, and then on this side you can gather 5 pieces of green wood and a piece of flint, so you can make a camp somewhere else if you wanted to. Those come up often enough that I hardly ever pitch a tent anymore unless it's open world PvP for the influence races. The company I'm in on Marama does participate in open world influence races, and we have a fair amount of fun doing stuff in open world PvP. That was a fast travel point at Cavalier Shrine, I believe it is. And then just running around gathering stuff. As you can see, the little bag icon in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. I don't know if you can see it or not. I wonder if you can. I hope you can. It's not quite 3/4 of the way full yet. So I'm slacking on gathering mats. If I'm going to have a full bag full of mats gathered when I get back to town to turn these missions in, I better get busy. In case you haven't noticed, my second quest down to hold the bridge has started ticking. I have to stand here for 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is easy for me because I'm going to kill these zombie pirate things here. Oh, there's a flagged purple running by me. I guess that they're doing the same thing I am because they didn't stop and try to kill me. Or they thought, man, look at this idiot. He's just sitting there fighting those mobs while he's flagged. I could kill him. He's probably not worth my time. Either which way. But since they didn't kill the zombie pirates, I'll kill the zombie pirates. Oh, are they coming back to talk to me? Yeah, I think so. Maybe not. I don't know what they're doing. That's strange. It's also you'll run into a lot of interesting, strange people in this game. So I'm going to drop the quest off here. This is the one I picked up in Cleopatra's Promise. And you'll notice that my time is continuing to tick down for holding this area. It'll do that anytime you're on concrete. You don't actually have to stay on the bridge. You can be on the stairway right here. It still counts as the bridge. And it just completed because I've been on the concrete for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Come over here, grab a chest. There's 2 wire fiber nodes down here at the bottom that I like to pick up. You can also have cactus. Cactus flesh is a good thing. You can use it as a cooking ingredient. You use it in acid tinctures. You use it in Desert Sunrise, which is a food that makes you take less damage over time. The acid tincture neutralizes acid, like from the sandworm or from the scarab chest. Not scarab chest. What are they called? Acid pool chest. Oh my gosh! Can't believe I forgot that. But sometimes I guess being old and senile does that to you. You'll forget your train of thought. Hopefully, I'm not quite really senile yet. That's a goal, but yeah, it happens to people. I could stop and bust these rocks right here to hurry up and fill up my bag if I really wanted to. The pick I have has a mote attunement on it that actually makes it very valuable just to bust rocks and gather motes, because motes are selling for over $1 a piece. Uh, but I was going to kill this alligator right here, bust these 3 or 4 rocks right here, and then go across that bridge and pick up some more Azoth water, which is selling for good money, or was when I looked this morning. And was last night before I went to bed, so I'm just assuming that it still is. Haven't actually looked this morning. Maybe quite disappointed whenever I get back and look at the price. Somebody may have filled all the high dollar buy orders, and it may be down to $1.70 a piece. In which case, I'll throw it in the bank and leave it until it goes up, or I'll put it up for sell orders, because there was a reason people were doing buy orders for $10 a piece. There wasn't enough on the market to meet their demand. Oh, it's a ghost. Oh no, it's going to eat me face. Ah! How about that was my terrible Irish impersonation this morning? I don't know how you guys feel about that. Hopefully you don't think I'm making fun of Irish people, because I'm not. Uh, my grandfather was Irish. On my mother's great grandfather on my mother's side was Irish. I actually have very little use for any type of racism. I guess I'm prejudiced against monsters because I seem to be trying to kill all of them, especially zombie pirate people, lost zombie pirate people. Oh no, he's got a big sword. He's trying to hit me. Whatever will I do? I guess I'll have to hit him back and then loot his chest. Got another $9. That's $9 closer to the $1,000,000 for Gold Cat. Chest right here. Ghost seems to be having a fit. Another zombie ghost in here. I guess he's technically a lost pirate or something. Get his 2 chests. Sometimes you get interesting things from chests, sometimes you don't. That's another one of these guys. I'm not sure why they make these things so hard to kill. Once he lifts his sword up like that, he takes a ton less damage. I guess that's like some kind of like defensive formation or something. I don't know what you call it, but I don't know. It just seems like it makes them just take a lot less damage and be annoying to kill. They don't really do any damage to you. It just makes you have to stand there and chop on them for a while longer. Probably wind up aggroing these ghosts, and if I do, that's okay. I'll take them up here somewhere and fight them, and then we'll drop down and gather some mats. Oh, the one did not aggro. He's still over there having some kind of fit. AGS, if you ever see this video, you can see over there that that ghost seems to be bugged out in some manner. I go in here, get this soul worm. Those can be valuable. I don't know what they're selling for right now on the trading post. I haven't looked in a couple of days. I haven't had enough to sell. Go up here and get this one. Another little chest right here. Jump over, go up. Another little soul worm right here. And sometimes you don't get the animal, you get the motes instead. But actually, those are oftentimes as valuable as the creatures. Some of them, like the earth shelltail and the uh, floating spinefish, I think is how you say it. Whatever it is, the little thing that looks like a fish in a dollop of water. Uh, those are around $50 a piece on Marama right now. But the moats are somewhere between $1 and $2 a piece, just depending on the moat. And the aggro range on these gators is really funny. Like you'd think the one over there and the one over there would come because I was killing their buddy, but it doesn't. They don't seem to care as long as they don't turn around and see you. They just don't care. Now, this one's probably going to see me. This is probably going to turn around this way and look at me. Are you? You're just going to stand right there in my way? It didn't see me. So get the A's off the water. Now that one's going to see me. It already did, I think. See how the bar's glowing red? Whenever the bar starts glowing red like that, that means you have the aggro or the attention of the mob. And if you don't have a tank to pull that back off of you, the monster's going to follow you until you get out of range before it retreats back to its spawn point. No harder than they are to kill. I'm just killing them because, I'm trying to gather mats anyway. We talked about that earlier. This is a farming faction mission, not really a oh my gosh, need to get it done quick faction mission. I can't remember. I think this is where Covenant has to stand for 1 minute and 30 seconds. It might be Syndicate that has to stand here for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Where, as the Marauders, you have to stand on the bridge. I like to come over here even though I have no real business being over here at all. There's an armadillo right here, and he often drops me a piece of prime armadillo meat, so I skin him just about every time I come through. I tell people when they come with me on this run that that's my lucky armadillo. So if you ever kill that, you've killed Raven's lucky armadillo. So I got that. Oh, these 2 sandstones somebody has come through and already dug. Oh well. I guess I can't gather them all. Peacocks, which are basically reskinned turkeys. This guy needs to die. This guy needs to die. I wasted that gravel. I didn't even have to throw it, but oh well. See the 2 guys over there, they never even noticed I was killing their buddies. Friends like that and all, who needs enemies, right? Your buddy's going to stand there and watch you get chopped up by some dude with a big great axe and not even come over and lend you a hand. There's something weird going on there. I don't understand why people would want to do such a thing. But I'd like to think if my friends saw me getting chopped up by somebody with a great axe, that instead of standing there watching it happen, they would try to intervene in some manner, call the police, get some friends, shoot the guy themselves. I don't know. Something. Busting rocks, chopping cactus, get a couple of trees. Do want to have my bag full when I get back to town. If I don't get back to town with a full bag, I feel like I have been unsuccessful. So part of the goal is to get back to town with a full bag. And you see that every time I bust one of those stones, maybe not every time, most of the time whenever I bust one of those stones, I'm getting an extra mote from just busting the stone. That's from the attunement on the pickaxe. Sorry, kind of spaced out there for a moment. Two more Azoth waters right here. Looks like I've got 56 total. That gator may or may not have seen me. I didn't hear it growl, so I don't think it did. Get this Azoth water right here. That's another 7, so I'm up to 63. So if they're still $10 a piece, that's 630 gold. This is probably not valuable and probably not worth it, but I just have a habit of coming over here and picking it up since I'm down here. I mean, suit yourself on whether you do stuff like that. And honestly, if you're on a very high pop server with a lot of people who are into open world PvP, if you do this run, you will have a lot more fights. As you've seen this morning, this is like 8 a.m. on Friday morning. There's nobody on, nobody doing anything where I am. But this is far from peak time. If you came up here during an influence race and did this exact same thing I'm doing, you would probably die 27,000 times. As you can see, this is owned by a syndicate company. I'm just down below the war count. It's just up at the top of the hill above me. You can't see it, but it's up there. I'm going to run straight face first into this alligator. I'm going to smack him a little bit, chop him up a little bit with a great axe, slice him and dice him and turn him into gator bites and then skin him. But what I really wanted was this Azoth water behind him because there's another 6 more Azoth. And that's another 3 more Azoth. And you get different amounts like that. You'll get somewhere between 2 and I think 7 is the most I've ever gotten. Some people say there's a better farm over in Reekwater. I've not really got on like a Turnham map or Overwolf or anything and figured out the route that's better over in Reekwater. There's a place in Evanscale, not Evanscale, Eden Grove, where there's some good farms for Azoth water, and I have found those, but I'm not over there. I'm over here because I like the PvP missions in Brimstone better. They seem to be easier for me to make a route to farm the mats whenever I'm doing this. Let's call it a crazy raven run where you just go farm mats and do faction missions. And I think anybody who has played the game for any length of time would be like, yeah, that's a crazy run. Why on earth would you do that? And it's because I want to. It's the only answer I have, really. I don't even know if that's a good answer or not. It's just my answer. And I get tickled at myself. I probably think I'm funnier than most people do. I don't know what stone is selling for. The other day I dug up, I think it was around 4,000. Looks like I've got a little over 24 right now. And it was 30 something cents a piece. So every 4 stone is a little over $1. I don't know if that's worth your time or not, but If you had, say, 4,000 stone, that's 1,000 gold. If you're trying to make gold, that's 1,000 more than you had before you started. I do get all of the sandstone because it is definitely worth more than the regular stone for sure. Last season there was an exploit where people were getting the Elysian Wilds Earth Attunement motes, or whatever it is, Beast Attunement motes, and making a vial to go into the sandworm so they could like one shot it and kill it. And I don't know, I think it was like a minute and 12 seconds they could kill the sandworm in. If they had like 8 or 10 people going, we were calling it juicing with the shrooms. The group I was in didn't do it, but there's videos on YouTube if you want to see it. Uh, we would just clear it normally and still clear it in just a few minutes. Usually have a couple of spots where we could help people carry through, because there's also an artifact that needs to kill the sandworm, a great axe. I think they've added another one now, a ring that needs to kill the sandworm, which is kind of crazy because it is absolutely, in my opinion, the most difficult content in the game to pull off. You have to have 19 other people that you can count on to do it. And the great axe that you get does like almost no damage to the sandworm. Uh, Basically, no great axe is a good option in the sandworm. You don't need it. So when I go in, I usually take a sword and shield and hammer if I'm doing the Wrens. If I'm doing one of the rapiers, I take in an ice gauntlet offhand and a rapier and 350 int, everything else into dexterity. Um, if you're on lights, you'll want maybe 50 con and everything else, and dex and focus to that 25 focus for the cooldowns. Here I am trying to tell you guys how to do worm, and I'm telling you we only cleared it one time this season. Maybe you shouldn't listen to me on how I tell you to do worm, because maybe I don't know. I'm just telling you what we do. But, anyway, this is a strength build because I'm using the great axe and the hatchet. It's probably not a great PvP build, but it's a fun PvP build. And maybe it's not really PvP. Maybe it's just a build that I like, and I use it for PvP and PvE. I'm just trying to finish filling my bag up here, getting a few more cactus and a few more herbs and stuff like that, because I still don't quite have my bag full. I'm getting close though. It's almost. Did I skip some sandstone? I think I did. I think there was some sandstone back over here somewhere that I didn't pick up. Run back and look and see. As you can see, I'm not really running. I'm kind of goofing off and taking my time getting over here. This is also a good spot to die if you are attacked. People do come and claim the fort in Brimstone Sands. It gives you a global bonus. I can't remember what for. Some kind of luck, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember. The only ones I really remember are like Weaver's Fin for the refining bonus, Cutlass Keys for the luck bonus, stuff like that. The rest of them aren't as important to me. And when I say Cutlass Keys for luck, that's not important. It's just that at one point in time it was bugged, and it was supposed to give you, I think it was like 1% extra luck at open world gathering and stuff. And it would actually give you 10%, I think it was, or 20% or something. So it was actually really valuable at that time. Now, not so much. And people do luck gear to get extra luck. Honestly, I don't understand luck in this game. Some people swear by it. I'm more of in the camp that there's so much RNG that you can't tell when it's luck and when it was just your day to get the things. As I've done chest runs in full luck gear and get back to town and have absolute garbage, and I've done chest runs in my PvP gear and get back to town and have 3 trophy mats in my bag. I've done them flagged, get back to town and have nothing. I've done them unflagged, and being flagged is supposed to give you an extra 10% luck. I've done them unflagged and get back and have several trophy mats. Uh, you know, so I don't know. There is a ton of RNG to this game. It may just be your lucky day. It may just be your unlucky day. I don't know. And I don't know how to tell when that is until you have it happen. You know, you'll get back to town. You'll be like, oh wow, I've got Armorer's Journal, or I've got armoring tools, or something like that, which is a high level trophy mat to make the Armorer's Trophy. Both those, those are several thousand gold apiece when you find those. But I don't know. There seems to be such a random amount of luck to it that I don't know how you tell. I do know that a lot of my friends swear that more luck is better and that you can't have too much luck. Since I don't run any luck other than having a loot luck trophy up in each of my 3 homes, I don't subscribe to that theory. I'm not willing to tell them that they're wrong because it works for them and it makes them happy. So why argue with them? If you advocate that luck is great and a great perk and something you want, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. If you think it works and it does work for you, fantastic. I just haven't seen enough evidence of it for myself to make me a firm believer. Like, I have people who I play with who have a gear slot set up where, all 5 pieces have luck on them. They have weapons that have luck on them. They have shields that, and do sword and shield that have luck on them. And so they can have as much luck as they can possibly have. And they do find a ton of interesting, expensive things. But I've tried to do a similar setup and do it for days and weeks on end, even, and I just don't have the same type of luck as they do. Oh, somebody just bought my Skinner gloves for $475. Those were an open world drop that I picked up this morning running around in Shattered Mountain. I was up there and I was doing my Topaz Attunement Potion, and I'd stopped and skinned some animals that I had shot while I was doing my Topaz, and I think they were around 575 gear score. So if you just bought some 575 Skinner's glove, thank you. You just made a $450 donation to my gold cap fund. Yeah. And if you have some and you want to put them on the trading post, put them on the trading post, and perhaps someone will purchase them from you as well. The ironwood tree is down. I was excited for just a split second. I thought it was up and I could chop it on my way into town, but it was not actually there, alas. I think I spent about 45 minutes on that run. You can definitely do it in less than 15, but you don't come back with a bag full of stuff to sell. So, and then I'll complete these missions and watch my faction tokens go up. And now I have 270,000 faction tokens. And then that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much.